Some truths don't wait to be invited. They crash in, mask, and burn everything down. It's over now. I keep telling myself that, like saying it out loud will make the act stop, but it doesn't. It just echoes back at me, hollow and cruel. Life was never peaceful for me. It was always loud, messy, like everything holds sand in my hand during a storm. Every time I thought I had something solid, it slipped away, and maybe I made the dumbest decision of my life. God, no. Not maybe, I did. They call me silly, clumsy, his favorite, but no one ever asked what it feels like to be broken by the ones you trusted most. People used to laugh when they talk about me. She's just a little dumb, harmless. They'd say clumsy, soft, forgetful, lost in her own little daydreams. A girl with scraped knees and sugar-stained hands. A girl who loved too easily, too loudly. But to him, I was everything. My husband, the man who could command a room with one look, would turn into someone small just to hold my hand. He once told me that I was the only thing keeping him breathing, that I was his light in a world full of knives, and I believed him. God, I believed every word. That's why I followed him that night. Not out of doubt, but curiosity. I thought I was being cute, like in those silly romance drama. I wore his big shirt and tiptoed behind him like a spy, holding in my giggles. I thought maybe he was planning a surprise, maybe something related to his work. But the abandoned building wasn't decorated in flaws. It reeked of secrets, and then I heard voices, my brother's and my husband's. I shouldn't have been there. I shouldn't have heard, but I did. The word blurred around me as their words carved themselves into my heart. Plans, lies, things I never ever should have known. I wanted to run, but I was frozen, like a child who just realized the monsters were never under the bed. They were in the family. And then came the moment my husband raised the gun, pointed at the only other person who knew all my memories, my brother. My legs moved before my brain did. I stepped in 1 second too soon, or maybe just in time. The bullet burned the world title, but I didn't scream. I just looked at him, and saw a face I didn't recognize anymore. I don't remember much after that, just sirens, crying, blood on his hands, not mine. And when I woke up in the hospital, I was alone. That's when I left. No noted, no explanation, just gone. And if you're thinking how I was alone, both assholes busy fighting whom I belonged to, and there I go, boom. I was injured, but my friends helped me escape. Soon I called them, and now I work at this tiny cafe 3 towns over. It smells like cinnamon and espresso, and no one here knows me as Ryan, his wife, or Ryan, that ass's sister. I'm just a girl who always messes up latte art and talks through the flaws in the window. People call me clumsy. They don't know who I once took a bullet from. The man who swore he couldn't live without me. Sometimes I see their faces in my dreams. My husband, broken, frantic, searching. My brother, guilt staining his silence. But they won't find me. Not until I'm ready. Not until I choose. I'm not the same girl who followed her husband with wide eyes and soft hands. I'm her ghost. And this is where the ending begins. I don't know how to be strong, but for the tiny heartbeat growing inside me, I'm learning. I haven't told anyone. Not even her. I haven't told her, not Astra, the girl who helped me burn the evidence of my past and build something that looked like a future. Not the girl who smuggled hair dye, fake IDs, and cupcakes into my grief until I remember how to laugh. She thinks I'm just healing, starting over. She doesn't know there's more. That 3 days ago, in a dusty cafe bathroom, I sat on the edge of a closed toilet seat, clutching a pregnancy test like it was a letter from fate. 2 pink lines, just 2, and now I catch myself doing it again. My hand slipped instinctively down to rest over the still flat space, just below my belly button. It's not even a bump yet, just a promise. A secret, heartbeat I haven't told a soul about. A table near the window waves for their check, and I snap out of it, forcing a smile that I hope doesn't look too dreamy. I grab my notepad and head over, just as the front door slams open behind me like a cartoon explosion. Aha, if it isn't Miss Latte Daydream herself, Luna. Babe, tell me you didn't burn the croissant again. Here comes Chaos on long legs and green eyes. Astra, my hurricane of a best friend. She's stressing like she owns the cafe. Technically, she's just part-time here, but she acts like she runs the city. Her bag hit the counter with a tongue, and she whirls on me like I committed a crime. You were doing the thing again, she says, finger pointing accusingly. You know that dreamy belly pad like you're starring in some indie movie called Croissant and Regret? I laugh nervously. I was not. I was just stretching. Geez, maybe I have a stomach cramp or something. She narrows her eyes. You've been stretching like that all week. You're gonna sprain your soul, girl. I fumble a sugar packet and drop it. My reflexes are exactly what you'd expect from someone who once tripped over a cloud-shaped pillow. Anyway, she grins, flipping the topic like she flips her moods. Guess who just got you an interview at Ecliptica Innovations? I blink. Wait, Ecliptica? The crazy scientific company with the floating screens and coffee served by drones? The very one. They need new assistant / schedule wizard / boring desk sitter. I told them you were obscenely punctual and didn't spill thing. I stare. You lied for me. She shrugs. A little for the cause. You're Luna now, babe. You've got short hair, dramatic eyeliner, and a tragic backstory. You can fake competence. I grin. I also microwaved my fork yesterday. God help us. She mutters, pulling out a blazer and tossing it into my arms. Now go practice sounding like someone who doesn't talk to muffins when they're alone. I laugh, but inside, my hand twitches. For a second, I press it to my belly again. Secret, quite hidden. They don't know. Not Astra, not my brother, not him. This baby is mine. Mine to protect, mine to grow with. Alright, I say, standing straight. Time to fake it till I make it. Or at least till they stop looking at your shoes. Astra grins. Don't forget, Luna. You're mysterious now. No more tripping over air. I note. Here, heart pounding. Tomorrow's the interview. Tomorrow could be the beginning of something real. And I'm doing it for both of us. Me and the tiny heartbeat only I know about. Sometimes destiny wear a suit, hold a grudge, and listen to your trash talk in an elevator. Why? Why do I do this to myself? I stood in front of my mirror, one sock on, one sock Mia, probably eaten by the sink, blouse half buttoned, hair half curled, eyes wide in horror. I had one job. I groaned to no one, frantically brushing my teeth while trying to zip up my skirt, be on time. Astra had left sticky notes all over my wall. Don't be late, don't trip, act mature. So obviously I already tripped and forgotten to print my interview paper. Classic Luna. I dashed into the street like a tornado of perfume, panic and barely there professionalism. By the time I reached Ecliptica Innovation, I looked like a windswept intern from a very low budget makeover montage, but it was huge. Glass towers, giant logos, intimating security guards who looked like they bench pressed people for fun. I panted as I reached the front desk, cheeks red, heels clumsy. The guard scanned me unimpressed. Name? Luna. I wheezed. I'm here for the 10 p.m. interview. ID? I blinked. I don't have one yet. I mean, how could I? I'm just here for the interview. I don't work here yet. He raised an eyebrow. No ID, no entry. What am I supposed to do? Teleport an ID from the future? I literally got this interview yesterday. It's not like I'm a spy unless you count spying on people's coffee orders, which... Wait, that's not relevant. He frowned. Ma'am, step aside. I was about to combust right here on the marble floor, and then a deep, low voice spoke behind me. Let the women in. I froze. The god froze, the air shifted. I turned my head slightly, catching a glimpse of a man in black wearing a sharp suit and a sleek black mask. I couldn't see his face, only his height, his build, the casual authority in his voice. He was already walking away, heading towards the elevator. Who? I stare at the guard with a smug little smirk. Yes, he outranks you, I whispered with a wink and then marched in, head held high, waited until I nearly walked into a wall. The elevator door closed before I could catch another glimpse. Fine, mystery man. Whatever, I had bigger problems like not face planting in front of my possible future boss after failing to find the elevator button. They were touch sensitive and I kept slapping them like a raccoon. I finally gave up and took the stairs 2 at a time, panting and muttering, "Professional, you are professional. Act like Astra. She would have killed this interview. I am powerful, I am capable." I burst through the office door, tripped, and exploded onto the floor like a bad comedy sketch. My file folder erupted like confetti, papers raining down across the glossy floor as my forehead met cold marble with a loud thunk. Ow. A silence thicker than shame fell over the room. I slowly, painfully stood up, hair wild, confidence in shred. I turned to face the desk, well, the chair, because whoever sat there had their back to me until he spoke. If a woman doesn't know how to walk or stand, how will she manage anything in my office? You're already rejected. The voice was smooth, cold, strict, but familiar, too familiar. I couldn't speak. My mouth moved, but no words come out. I gathered my things with shaky hands. I turned on my heel and stomped out. Ignored the way my heel squeaked against the floor. I hit the cafe inside the company building and flopped into a chair. What does he think he is? I muttered to myself, stuffing croissant into my mouth angrily. Some mafia CEO with a pretty chair? I hoped his paper gets jammed. I hope his printer explodes. I hope his shoelace gets stuck in the escalator. I made my way to elevator. Seeing it open, I get in. The elevator behind me dinged. I keep ranting. Maybe if he ever tripped, he'd have some humility. And what kind of boss fires someone without even letting her talk? She's probably short. I bet he's secretly short, mask-wearing, power-hungry, a presence behind me, tall, silent, electric. I stopped talking and turned slowly. There he stood, no mask this time, just the coldest brown eyes I've ever known, eyes that once warmed only for me. My husband. The man I left 2 weeks ago, the man who watched me take a bullet meant for someone else, the man who now stared at me like I was a ghost, and I was still holding a croissant like a weapon. What is he doing here? I stared, frozen completely, like even blinking would make this nightmare real. Was he stalking me? No. That made no sense. He didn't even know where I went. Astra made sure of that. We changed everything, name, hair, ID, glasses, lenses. I was gone. I vanished. Then why is he standing there right behind me, breathing the same air as me, looking at me with those eyes I used to call home? My hand shook like my body remembered the weight of everything, the bullet, the blood, the way I'd stepped between my brother and him, my husband, without thinking. The sound of gunshots still echoed somewhere in the back of my skull. I'd taken that bullet, I saved my brother, only to watch him try to leave this world a week later. Guilt carved into every part of his soul because of him, my husband. My chest clenched as I watched him, lowering, calm, as if nothing of it had ever happened. And yet, even now, even after all that, I want to hug him. I want to fall into his arms and whisper, "You're going to be a father." Because in the end, deep down, I know this old fart is a victim here. He was betrayed by a lot of people, lost his wife and child. My brother was real asshole, but still he was my brother who raised me, but abandoned me when I grew up. But I just need time to see him suffer. He kept me in dark whole time. This man who looked at me bleeding in that hospital and said he should have taken the bullet, not you. I hate him. I hate him so much that I love him. I can't even breathe properly when I look at him, but why does my heart still ache for him like I forgot what he did? I braced myself, ready for him to snap, to yell, to curse at me for being in his space. But instead, he said, "Is that how you greet your employer?" I blinked. Wait, what? Excuse me? Is he... He doesn't know. He doesn't recognize me. I stared at him, blinking in complete disbelief. So you're telling me my husband is now my boss who just rejected me? I felt something in my brain. Short circuit. My jaw dropped open, my inner voice screamed, my outer voice just made a weird choking noise. I wanted to shout, my inner voice screamed in anger and hurt at his complete lack of recognition and love suddenly shown. I wanted to shout, "It's me, you idiot, your clumsy wife, the one you swore you couldn't breathe without. Remember her?" But he was already walking away out of elevator. Cool, calm, sharp, as always, looking perfect somehow today again now. It took me a minute to realize I'm Luna now. He didn't recognize me and just insulted me, and that's fucking embarrassing. Is insulting people his love language? But also, since when is my mafia husband a CEO? Like, did I miss something huge in my life story? 1 minute he's in bulletproof cars giving orders in dark alleyways, and now, boom, corporate Thai elevator. Life changes. The only crime here is how good he still looks in a suit and tie, perfectly and attractively dressed always. Did he stop all of it because of me? Because I hated the mafia life so much and begged him honestly then? But what if because I left him because of mafia violence, wait, did he really do all this for me? Somehow possibly with love shown. No. Luna, stop romanticizing the man who literally turned your guts into bullet cushion and trauma zone. Get your act together. You need to focus on yourself now, not on him or his life or complicated past stories. I fixed my blazer, which was totally wrinkled thanks to my stair marathon and crazy running and rushing fast daily. I smoothed my skirt and marched into the company cafe with what I hoped looked like confidence and not issues. I spotted him walking across the lobby, his long stride like they owned the floor with complete authority always now, and me? I chased him again like a penguin chasing its last crumb of hope, desperately every single day now. This time, I caught up, sort of. "Sir," I called out, I would like to formally request another chance now. That wasn't a proper first impression earlier. I understand, but I believe I have the skills and qualification required here. He stopped. Oh no. Eye contact. Initiated abort mission. Those dark, cold eyes met mine, instantly freezing me solid. God, he had dark circles. Not the cute kind that I haven't slept in weeks because my wife vanished kind of circles. Deeply. I bite my lips. Was that because of me? Did he even try to find me or completely forgot somehow now too? Did he lose his mind? Did he scream my name in empty room like I dreamed he did loudly every night once? Good. He deserved it. I smiled smug, satisfied, almost proud of my dramatic little disappearance and its impact somehow still. Then he opened his mouth. If the goal was to waste both our time with your incoherence, congratulations, you're overqualified now. Ouch. Okay, ouch. I forced a stiff smile. Professionalism. Luna, be mature, be calm and composed. Somehow still, sir, I believe I'm capable of, he interrupts me. Capable of falling through office doors, missing elevator, and insulting senior staff somehow? Incredible resume. I blink hard. Is it too early to fake a fainting episode or just quit now immediately here? No, I may not be traditional, I said, voice firm, but I work hard, I learn fast, and I don't quit ever. He looked me up and down. Slowly he was scanning for sign of life or intelligence visible somehow clearly. Neither was visible. Apparently he exhaled, pinching the bridge of his nose. Even that annoyed me in high definition clarity now. This office doesn't run on chaos and cartoon. Try the circus. They might hire you if you're lucky somehow or desperate. What in the actual... Did he just tell me to go join a circus? I gulped in complete shock and surprise. Instantly, he turned and I thought it was over. Then suddenly, fine. If you want your chance, come upstairs 5 minutes now, please. Impress me if that's within your skill set. Then he walked away, coat flaring like some overdramatic vampire king, instantly disappearing. And I just stood there frozen again. What happened? He gave me a chance. He actually gave me a shot. Surprisingly now, I stare at the elevator. He disappeared into hot thudding. This was it. No more chasing this time. I walk in confidently, head high, face forward, files, not falling everywhere, hopefully. I straightened my shoulders and made my way upstairs calmly now, and as the office door opened in front of me, this time without tripping, I took one final breath and stepped in slowly forward. There he was, sealed, regal, untouchable. My boss, my husband, my biggest secret. And maybe, just maybe my second chance now, finally. I'm broke now. I need this job. Damn bad. I stepped into his office like I hadn't tripped on a potted plant like 3 minutes ago. Professional, mature, graceful. That's what I told myself I looked like. Reality? Probably panicked raccoon in human cosplay. He didn't even motion me for sit. I am your wife. Anyways, he just sat there all CEO and serious in a chair probably worth more than where I am living right now. His face unreadable, sharp, cold. Do you have any prior experience as a personal assistant? Boom. First question. Okay. Be cool, calm. I clasped my hands together and said with complete deadly sincerity, yes, I was once my best friend's personal assistant for 2 days until I accidentally deleted her dating app profile trying to update her resume. Wait, I shouldn't have said that. Silent. I also reminded her to drink water. That's assistant-ish, right? Jungkook's point of view. Who hired this gremlin? What level of psychological warfare am I being punished with? She looks like she crawled out of a Pinterest board gone rogue. And her voice? Why is it bubbly? Why is she smiling? Is she actually proud of deleting someone's digital love life? Either she's another version of my Ryan, or either I am going insane finding her since 2 damn weeks. So, I said slowly, voice flat enough to iron a pseudo. So you're telling me your greatest accomplishment as an assistant is destroying someone's romantic future and preventing dehydration? I stared right in her eyes. Ryan's point of view. I blinked, yes? He leaned back in his chair, hands steepled under his chin like some mafia James Bond villain hybrid. He stares, impressive. Genuinely, that's the kind of resume that says, hire me, I ruin lives in style. Okay, ouch. My professionalism cracked a little. I leaned forward, face serious. Sir, with due respect, I may not come from a traditional background. Ha, if you count being a runaway pregnant mafia wife as non-traditional. But I learn fast, I adapt faster, and no matter how many times I fall, literally or otherwise, I get back up. I paused, let that sink in. Oh, the drama. You want someone robotic? That's not me. But if you want someone who's stubborn enough to keep standing even when everything's falling apart, I looked at him dead in the eye. Then I'm your girl. Your wife, actually. I wish I could tell him that. His attitude is getting on my nerves. Jungkook's point of view. Who is this woman? Her eyes, there's something there. Something familiar. Forced. Professionalism. Under the chaos. My instincts are screaming she won't be able to do anything, but little part of me wants to know if this little thing can actually prove me wrong. But of course, I'm not saying that out loud ever, so instead I just closed the file I wasn't even reading and said coldly, you can join from tomorrow, though I know you'll fail. Prove me wrong. Wait, what? Did he just hire me? Yes, wait, no. No, 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 no. What am I doing? I'm working in my own husband's office, whom I left and ran from? What in the world were you thinking, Ryan? And on the top of that, what was that attitude? I know you'll fail. Fuck you. No? I stare at him. Actually, I don't think I should work here. He smirks, glad he realized. Door is right over there. He may leave. Fucking asshole. I snap. Sir, don't mind me, but whatever happened in your life, you deserve it. I left storming out of his office and start mumbling to myself. Yes, I did right. I left him. Man with ego, pride, and attitude. Who's that bitch? I stop, turn, and stare at that girl in red dress and heels walking to his office with those plastic gallons on her chest. What in the world? Okay, who cares? He's an asshole. Wait, he's my husband. How dare she? I walk back to his office door. Through window I peek, but his head snapped at my side and she closed the curtains. What? How dare she just... That's my man! I yell to myself, storming to elevator, pressing on button. Change of plans. I need the bitch out of my man's office. Ain't no way he'll stay in peace after I just left him. I'll make his life miserable, but right now, I have to win his heart. As Luna. Suddenly, my phone ring. I stare at my phone screen and groan in the elevator. I pick up the call of my roommate. Hey, just give me 2 more days. She hangs up and I laugh in frustration. Great, just great. I'm not only jobless but homeless now.